Before books, before ink, before paper, there was only memory. For thousands of years, humanity lived in a world without writing. Stories were carried by the voice. History lived in songs. Knowledge survived only as long as someone remembered it. But memory fades, and civilization needed something stronger. The first marks, c. 10,000–4000 BCE. Long before alphabets, early humans painted animals and hunting scenes on cave walls, like those found in Lascaux Cave, dating back nearly 17,000 years. They carved tally marks into bones. They created symbols to count goods and track seasons. But these were not words. They were reminders. Humanity had not yet learned how to record language itself. The cradle of civilization, c. 3,400 BCE. Then, around 3,400 BCE, in the fertile land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in ancient Mesopotamia, something revolutionary happened. In the cities of Sumer, trade was booming. Temples stored grain, merchants exchanged goods, livestock had to be counted, and memory was no longer enough. So scribes took a reed stylus, pressed it into wet clay, and left wedge-shaped marks. This was the birth of cuneiform. At first, simple pictures: a jar meant oil, a sheep meant livestock. But soon, symbols began, representing sounds. For the first time in history, humans were not just drawing ideas. They were capturing speech. Writing had begun. Words of the Nile, c. 3,200 BCE. Almost at the same time, along the banks of the Nile, another civilization was rising. In ancient Egypt, around 3,200 BCE, sacred symbols were carved into stone. These were Egyptian hieroglyphs. Unlike Mesopotamia's clay tablets, Egyptian writing was majestic, carved into temples, painted inside tombs, written on papyrus scrolls. Here, writing was not just for business. It was divine. The names of kings, prayers to the gods, spells for the afterlife. Writing became a bridge between earth and eternity. The alphabet revolution, c. 1050 BCE. For centuries, writing systems were complex, hundreds of symbols, difficult to master. But around 1050 BCE, traders from Phoenicia changed everything. They created a simple alphabet, just 22 symbols, each representing a sound. No more hundreds of signs. Now, anyone could learn to write. This alphabet would travel across the Mediterranean. It would influence Greek letters, then Latin letters, and eventually, the alphabet you are reading right now. Writing became accessible, and knowledge began to spread faster than ever before. Writing changes the world. Once humanity could write, civilization transformed. Laws were recorded like the Code of Hammurabi. Stories were preserved like the Epic of Gilgamesh. Sacred texts were compiled. Science, mathematics, and philosophy were born on parchment and clay. History could now outlive the storyteller. A king's decree could survive his death. A prophet's message could cross generations. A civilization's memory could endure thousands of years. Writing became humanity's greatest invention. Modern world montage. From clay tablets, to papyrus scrolls, to printed books, to digital screens. The art of writing continues to evolve, but its purpose remains the same: to preserve thought, to carry truth, to speak across time. The moment the first scribe pressed a symbol into clay, humanity found a way to speak to the future. And today, we are still listening.